recognized symbol of excellence in sports entertainment.
Hamin Media Group. This is NXT. Next Level Podcast.
I say dummy. Dummy. Yeah.
Ben Hamin, good morning, my friend. How are you, ladies and gentlemen? This is the next level. Yes, we take it to the next level every single Wednesday morning here at HMG, whether you're on YouTube, whether you're on the Patreon, whether you're on Twitch TV. .tv. I'm throwing a dot because then you'll probably end up in some weird website. But neither here nor there, ladies and gentlemen. If you don't know who I am the reporter, the people, the man, the plan, Big Ray, here to stay to talk some lucha libre, which is wrestling today. I'm going to be sniffling and sneezing a whole bunch, but ladies and gentlemen, okay, I still suck at this, by the way. I'm still, learning this, but neither here nor there. He is the golden Ayatollah. He comes in at what is it? 7 feet tall? 7 feet tall. No, 8 feet tall. 9 feet tall. 10 feet tall. 10 feet. No, 9 feet 11 inches tall, ladies and gentlemen. He weighs 1,985 pounds, 84 pounds. No, I don't. You know what, ladies and gentlemen? It is the one, the only, the hacker. Ben Hamin, what is going on, partner?
Y'all, it's the burial ground sound, Don. HMG putting holes in y'all infidels out here. 911 pounds, 9'11", hacker Hamin. Always infidels as we kick it off here live. Ben Hamin channel, twitch.tv/Hamin Media. Already a rocky morning. It's going to be a big one here. As always, got some beautiful people meet and greets to do this afternoon digitally, and keep on producing as we do here for the Next Level Podcast. Big Ray all day.
Jesus Christ. All right. So again, ladies and gentlemen, I was up till 4:30 in the morning. I wake up at 9 in the morning. It says, freshly shave my head, shave my face, blow my nose.
My shit too.
Well, good job, sir. Maybe take a poop, get my coffee ready to be here, to look like I've been awake for hours, but I haven't really. Well, I look like I had slept hours. Anyway, neither here nor there. Ben Hamin.
Yeah.
How was your week, buddy?
Yeah, man, it's actually pretty productive. Been able to stay on task. Today is going to be a big day to get the Larry Hankin promotions ready, because tomorrow is the big Friends reunion. So I want to really jump on all the hashtags with everybody we got going down with everything with the A Show and SRTV with a big motorsports guest as well. And yeah, we're just pushing it every way we can, man. Raw and SmackDown review, Master Shoot Theater, all that stuff has just been very fulfilling, rewarding, just trying to get everything under control for workflow process as I start to learn Realm Network behind the scenes, so I can get us transferred over to there in the next couple of weeks, man. So just steady progress, steady stress, which is all right. I don't feel too burnt out right now, but we're going for it, man, as always, dude.
All right, Ben, I always ask you every single week, and we have like kind of a roll call. We got the chat going on here already, 14 strong in the chat, and that's going to grow exponentially.
Yeah, we had about 52 yesterday.
Ooh,
yeah, it was real good, man. What did we record yesterday? Or that was Monday morning, excuse me, for the locker room.
All right, so do we know who's here? Let me see.
Who's in the house? Yeah, I got her. Mandy, our own Mandy, who's doing all the great animated Master Shoot Theaters. Frank's Pickle Barrel Ass, obviously, Die Hard. Jared Cantator's in the house. Society Reviews. Gam Wolfers, that Greg Miron is in the house too. Everybody else is just kind of lurking right now, but it looks like everybody's pretty much checking in on YouTube at this point. So having a good morning. Hopefully you guys are too, using that or drinking that Broasters coffee, Vince Russo Bro official. And let's have some good time. I don't know, man, you're on the B12 water. I feel you. I don't know. Last night's show, man, was a little perplexing, so we'll get into it.
It's going to be interesting to talk about.
Sorry, I'm MWA Pierce Austin, Wrestling with Tragedy. Good to see you, man, down under. He's doing big things. Just got 2 ring announcer gigs, so he's going to be making his debut. I try to give him some good big brother advice, and I'm sure he'll apply it, man, because he's a hungry and creative dude, and a new dad again.
Congratulations.
Yeah, man. So he's definitely pushing his limits. I can tell you that right now. The real RBV's in the house too. Early on the Twitter game and social media game, promoting the Wednesday locker room, where they talk about a story I'm sure we're going to get to in the 3 count. Derek's checking in from Ireland right now, obviously doing a lot with all HMG brands, 2-man power trip, wall rads. I see you too, bro. So hopefully everyone's doing really well this morning.
I got to put out there. I was listening to the Monday locker room, and Rick, if you ever run a show in New York City and you need a ring announcer, I'm your guy.
Well, that's a long trip not to say they can't. They've had one show in Ohio, and usually indies run regionally. So unless you're ready to expand and try and take over everything from Ohio to New York City, that's quite an undertaking.
That's why I'm giving them a heads up. Like 2 years away. Low.
Yeah. I think there's a better chance of you driving to Ohio to do the gig than the other way around.
Ray is not driving to Ohio.
Well, you got it. That's part of part of being on the road, bro.
Is it?
Yeah, who knows? I mean, it's 12 hours to Chicago. So
could you imagine the car trip with me and I pick up Colin Weissong or something on the way? Colin and RBV. BRV.
Right, Valentine, that's what makes it go quicker. To be honest with you, throwing on a podcast on a car trip back saves us a lot of times, just because you're in the conversation. It keeps you awake more than music does. When Sideburns and I were coming back from Jersey, we're like, let's throw on FLR. I know it's almost like a 2.5 hour show, and it really did, dude. It makes that hard block of time in the middle when you start dozing off or what have you. It just keeps the conversation rolling. It's easier to stay awake. So if anybody, I know we got a lot of truckers out there who listen to us, and we've got plenty of police officers all over the world who are just kind of kicking it in their car. The podcast makes those shifts go by a lot quicker and a lot safer too, man.
Jesus, what the fuck is going on with this pollen this year?
Oh, it's insane, bro. Absolutely. Up here where there's even, and not that it pops me because there's plants and everything in New York City, but I'm like, you're not even in nature. All the nature you have is phony.
I mean, we have Central Park, but
is that enough to make the whole city go ape shit? I don't know, maybe, but where I am, bro, trees amongst trees and every type of plant, dude, it's been insane with pollen this year for sure.
I got to do the old Tay Zonday. Do you know who Tay Zonday is? Chocolate Rain.
Oh, okay, yeah. I mean, I know him as Chocolate Rain.
So what he used to do is, if you look at the old video, he pulls away to breathe. So I'm gonna be sniffing a lot instead of me hitting this fucking button every 5 minutes. I'll just.
I like the silence button. Works good.
It does work good. I wish we had that in life. But listen, man, I just wanted to start off even before the 3 count with this little story. All I will say is that we had him here first. I'm very proud of him, and I'm just going to press play, and hopefully this thing fucking works as usual. Here we go.
Ringer right here. Big right hand delivered to the jaw by Cal Hero. Clothesline there by Colton.
That's Cedarburg, Wisconsin's 18-year-old Cal Hero making his AEW All Elite Wrestling debut in a tag team match on what's called AEW Dark. It's a big deal for a guy that was in high school here a year ago. Now wrestling is his life. He lives and trains at Ohio Valley Wrestling, OVW in Louisville. He wrestles for OVW. He's made appearances on TNA Impact, and this AEW match is in the upper echelon of pro wrestling. Right now, AEW is WWE's top competitor.
That is the place you need to be. And AEW, like when I think of it, like that's it. Now it's wrestling. Like I'm still going to college, I still attend MATC, but it's wrestling from the moment I wake up to the moment I go to bed.
You can watch Cal's big match right now. We've got a link to it at CBS58.com. Cal is also part of OVW shows every week. You can see those matches online. And you can see Cal wrestle in person this Sunday, 2 p.m. at the Dundee Rockabilly and Pro Wrestling Extravaganza. That's in Dundee, Wisconsin. And he's back here mid-June for Brats, Beers, and Body Slams, part of Thiensville Lion Fest.
That is awesome.
Shut up, chick. So, dude, Brats, Beers, and we have a friend that did something like that.
Wisconsin.
Did something in the beer hall. Who was our friend that fucking had the beer wrestling? Do you remember?
Beer wrestling. All I know is I got a brewski from OVW who came out with a keg.
No, man. Yeah. No, I'm talking about Jesus Christ. He's come on a couple of times. Why am I drawing a blank? He had the wrestling in the beer halls, and then everybody stole his gimmick. Promoter. What the fuck? Friend of the show, our friend, and I can't remember his goddamn name.
What that are you talking about?
I don't fucking any. It doesn't matter. Listen, ladies and gentlemen, Cal Hero making his AEW debut. Ben, do you remember when he was in diapers and he came on the show? And dude, he's come so far in such a short. See, this is what happens when you come on the show with Ben Hamin. You know what happens.
I'm going to the top, and I'm going to the moon. Whoa, yeah!
Anyway, so Ben,
yeah,
I know you've had a few run-ins with Cal Hero in the past.
Yeah, I can't stand Cal Hero.
Bar wrestling. Who was bar wrestling? Now it's driving me crazy.
Joey Ryan was bar wrestling, so I don't think so.
Anyway, continue.
I was I've had it out for Cal since he was 13 years old, and I had to be on Calapalooza, and Cal handpicked Armando Estrada to try and thwart me, and I embarrassed him in front of all of his stupid little junior high school friends and whatnot, and he's that drove him to wrestling, but this isn't just like, oh, a kid getting it, too much too fast. Cal's a definitely a different animal than, second generation, because his dad is a promoter, Dave Hero. Everyone knows Super Friends and all that stuff that Dave's put on shows, and everyone gets along with Dave Hero, and Blizzard Brawl and all those are big events in the Midwest.
Then who's this guy?
I don't know.
Really? You're the one who introduced him to me.
I can't tell when someone's got sunglasses and hat on.
Can you see it now?
I see a big Jack Daniels thing. I don't know. Like, what the fuck is the name of the...
It's Mike Flatbread OTR. I don't know why I can't remember this dude's name.
Fucking in California. Fucking,
yes.
Yeah.
Why am I fucking drawing a blank?
He's been offline. That's why, probably.
No, he sends me terrible pornography every single day on Instagram. It's insane.
Sorry, but Cal's had around him the best in the industry because of his dad's relationship, and not only that, Al Snow is pretty much his godfather. Right. So he's grown up around Mike Hawes. Thank you. That Billy Gunn has given him tons of information. Road Dogg, he's been around everybody who knows this shit and gets it. He grew up probably around Billy's sons as well. I mean, you can see the evolution of Cal from when he was literally 2-3 years old with Bundy and all these guys. ODB, has played Blizzard Brawl plenty of times, giving Cal knowledge, and boom, yeah, it's smart, be in college, absolutely, if you're going to train wrestling and do all that. But he's at OVW under Al's, tutelage right out of the gate. This kid he's got all the political connections to make one phone call and get a dark match. So everyone can hate on him for whatever reason of like, oh, he's daddy's boy, which is what I call him. But at the end of the day, this kid's been living wrestling since he was 2-3 years old. And I wouldn't doubt that he's that far off of a Cal Hero and Dominic Mysterio. There's money there. There's money there. And he's doing the fanny pack kid thing, but I'll tell you what, he went from, and this is how it is when you're that age, from a skinny little 15-year-old wrestling fan and like starting to work out to a body guy now who looks in-ring ready as an 18 or 19-year-old would. And you know what he really reminds me of, dude, when I look at him at that age?
What's that?
The shitty mustache that you want to slap off his face.
Oh, God.
He reminds me of a young Rocky Maivia, bro. Like,
Dwayne, oh, yes. Dwayne
the
Johnson.
way his hair is now, like, so, you know, that's not a bad spot to be in with Al Snow training you, pulling for you with the political connections of DX, pretty much being able to do whatever. And his dad kind of has good faith wherever he goes. So the doors are really wide open for Cal. And I wouldn't doubt if AEW doesn't sign him, that WWE will within the next 18 months. You know, I think he could get signed now, but it'd be a waste. I think he really needs to build his name more on the indies, listen to Al, and really let those guys plot out his entire career, because he's got top people, around him, coaching him to what he needs to do. The fanny pack kid thing, I'd like to take it off and strangle the shit out of him with it. But that's because our heat goes back, and Al thinks he's cute, and cute is the last thing that I like. So it won't be long before Cal Hero really gets a final exam when he steps in the ring with me. And I don't care who your uncle is, who your godfather is. When the bell rings, it'll be a different story, because he's been trying to be cute with me since he was 13 years old. Well, now it's time to go to real class here. So we'll see. But Cal Hero on AEW Dark doesn't surprise me. Congratulations. And I think he's like, people want to shit on it for whatever reason, or maybe they don't. They want to support him. But this is a kid that isn't just like getting doors opened for no reason whatsoever. He's definitely been around this business for a lot longer than most veterans have, you know?
Yeah, I mean, he shoved your face in a cake when he was like 4, right?
No, he didn't do that. Armando Estrada did, but he told him to do it.
It's not what I heard, Ben.
Well, I lived it, and I know what happened. That was the first show that Funkasaurus, he had just gotten released and was on that show too.
Brodus.
Yeah, Brodus Clay.
So that Jennifer loves Brodus. Had no idea that he was a WWE superstar. She watches him all the time on Fox.
On Fox. Just thought he was a big guy they hired. Yeah, the guy's awesome, man. Yeah, Brodus Clay is great. And that was millions of dollars left on the table with that dude, especially going into Trump era, man. He's articulate. He's one of a kind size-wise. You don't find an athlete that's built like that who can move like that. And what do? They make him a dancing pimp. Like, okay.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you could be worse. You could be. Oh, by the way, Mike Hawes.
Yeah, Mike Hawes.
Dude, hi, Mike. How you doing, buddy?
I haven't seen him online. I don't know. I thought maybe he got Facebook banned. Maybe he got the port.
Absolutely, he's off Facebook, but he's on Instagram. But he sends me terrible shit every day.
Well, I'm glad better you than me. But yeah, Mike Hawes on Cali running those bar shows. Sorry, I just drew a blank on that.
No, it's okay. Me too. I'm like, whatever.
I've never been booked on one, so I probably would know if I.
Mike, I got to reach out to Mike to tell him to book you guys. Anyway, so listen, we have a very, very interesting 3 count. So why don't we just jump into this, ladies and gentlemen, as the chat room continues to increase. And you know what, Frank's pickle barrel ass. Would you stop? Would you leave me alone?
I've been wanting to punch Cal Hero in the face for like 5 years, bro, and I can't wait till I get the opportunity. I almost went to Kentucky just to get my license to show up at OVW and scare the shit out of him, because I know he's gonna drop a load in his fanny pack and when he sees Hacker come through the door. I don't care how many kettlebell swings you do, how many Iranian poles you're swinging over your head. There's plenty that Daddy and Al haven't taught you yet.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, there are a couple of lessons learned, and we're going to talk about those lessons here on the 1, the 2, the 3 count.
This is your next level 3 count with the biggest pro wrestling, MMA, and world news stories of the day. Now, back to Big Ray and Big Hamin.
I'll tell you, Ben, I am fucking off my game today, dude. Like I just feel like
weird. Energy is weird today. And it's not just you. It's everything.
Yeah. It is what it is. Hi, John. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, the very first story of the day. Here we go.
Professional wrestler turned actor John Cena accused of making a groveling, pathetic apology to China. Cena has been out there promoting his new movie, Fast and Furious 9, to international markets when he referred to Taiwan as being the, quote, first country to watch the film. The Chinese government was not happy with that reference to Taiwan as an independent country, so Cena quickly apologized in Mandarin.
中国就是假如希腊，我必须说现在，在速度与激情中。
Cena says he's very sorry about his mistake and that he really loves and respects China. So, Greg, did a wrestling star just get body slammed by China?
I don't know. I think what Cena did was cowardly and despicable. And if I ever see him face to face, I will be sure and tell him the exact opposite. I had no idea there were 9 Fast and Furiouses. I think I might be in one of them. There are that many. But it's like, look, it just shows you how in bed our corporate overlords are with a totalitarian regime that didn't get arguably the toughest actor in Hollywood to offer a groveling apology in Mandarin. The only upside to this is I don't see Cena running around crapping on America and apologizing to China like LeBron James.
Ooh.
So, Katie, obviously China thinks that Taiwan belongs to them. It's not an independent country. But we, the United States, we have a one China policy. So should we change and say that, you know what, Taiwan, we respect your independence and sovereignty?
Taiwan is a country. Hong Kong used to be a sovereign. It's been taken over by the Chinese Communist Party. The CCP is now engaged in a genocide against an entire Muslim population. And what that means for America is we're screwed because they don't even have to try to infiltrate American society and culture. When you have people.
All right, enough of this bullshit. Anyway, I see Ben Hamin has gotten a phone call here. So I'm going to go to the chat right now, guys. What do you think of this situation here with John Cena? Now, I was under the impression that fucking Taiwan was a country. So I don't know. It's interesting. We got Gam Wolfers who says, and I quote, okay, going face to face, all confrontational. What the hell's going on over here? Anyway, it is what it is. So John Cena coming out and apologizing in Mandarin, does that make him weak? I would love to know what Ben thinks. But as you can see right now, or if you're listening right now, Ben is on a very important phone call in the middle of a live recording. But it is what it is. Anyway, so, all right. So Society Reviews, you're telling me that NBC Universal laid the smackdown on John Cena. How so? What happened? Gam Wolfers, Hong Kong was never a country. It was Britain's puppet. Is that all facts, guys? I had no fucking idea. Anywho, so John Cena getting fucking screwed over by. Now, did you guys listen to? Did you guys check out Twitter after it? I mean, people were just going crazy. They were really getting on John Cena's case, and it was actually funny as Ben Hamin finishes his phone call. Ben, I was just telling
sorry
here in the chat. It's all right. It's all right. It's not like we're doing anything important.
No, I mean, I 3 count John Cena. I get it. The tweet apologize, dive, repeat.
Right. So I was going to ask real quick, because people are telling me that he's China's puppet or whatever. Taiwan was Britain's puppet, and all that. I had no idea. Number one, first, I always thought Taiwan was his own country.
I think it's like a republic of, you know what I mean? So it's like how we fuck around with Puerto Rico or whatever, you know what I mean?
Hey, you leave Puerto Rico alone.
I like Puerto Rico. I'd like to
Okay.
go check it out, man. I'd like to
Beautiful.
check out Taiwan too. But you're talking about a very different culture, and that is a hot button topic for them, the independence of them leaving that way. And I don't know why they treat them like second class citizens. You know, I'm really not as versed in the history of how that came to be and the split and them not wanting to let it go. But it seems like a bad breakup, but you don't want your girlfriend to date anybody else, you know what I mean, afterwards. So there's some definitely like high level Communist Party bruise touching there, and you know, the ignorance of America. And it's not like, if Taiwan wants to be free, then they should be to some degree. I guess you could say that, but then be like, well, what about Texas? Would they be able to leave? Well, I guess. I mean, what is a borderline anyway, you know, that's invisible? We're just talking about taxation and raw materials. Like, that's really what borders set us up to conglomerate. But this is a strange thing, man, because we don't think of like Taiwan like we think of Hong Kong. You know what I mean? Like Hong Kong, I look at as a city in China that we know, but we're kind of taught Taiwan as something else. And what is our real interaction with them is millennials is looking at our toys when we were kids. Then it says made in Taiwan.
Mm-hmm.
So when it breaks, you can go, oh, this piece of shit made in Taiwan. You know, like that's the Americanization of what the experience of Chinese and whatever Taiwanese culture really is of how we are introduced to it. So we have a very ignorant and myopic look to it. Now, there's something going on that's the bigger story here, which is the Chinese masters. Mm-hmm. And coming out from behind the curtain to show that their power over American culture and entertainment is solidified. Whether it's NBA with LeBron, whether it's this with XINA, there's three groups right now that are completely controlling everything. And you've heard me stooge them off of whatever it is of how dare you speak out against them. They will show you that white privilege is nothing, that you're nothing more than a puppet. That's China involved in Hollywood and pro sports.
Right.
That's Israel involved in Hollywood and politics. And that's the gay mafia. If you speak out against any of the whatever the Ellen Page stuff that they're trying to do, gender confusion and all this shit, if you even try and take even a remotely hard line other than I support everything you do, no matter how insane it is, or Palestine versus Israel in New York City where people are throwing fire bombs at each other over shit that doesn't really affect them aside from media hyping them up, or anybody taking the side against Israel, saying that they're just colonizers doing the same genocide that was done to them via the Nazis, but now the tables have turned in 80 years and they're doing it on Palestine. And here's a litany of proof. No, don't you dare say that. Israel can never be questioned. Or what we're seeing now with China, where you have to go on and apologize in Mandarin to fucking President Xi and the rest of them, bro. It's the visual of 1980s, 1990s Americanization power, because we're better than all those countries that really bought in and said, here's your power. We're buying all these studios, we're buying all this property, and we're invested in NBC and Fast and Furious Heat or whatever it is, that they will make what is our American superhero, John Cena.
Oh yeah.
Down and kiss that ass, bro.
Yo, let me so I'm gonna read you a quick translation. It's only a paragraph long, but if you guys don't know, my son Aiden James is fluent in both Mandarin and Cantonese, more Cantonese than Mandarin. But anyway, I'm gonna translate this. I had Aiden do this for me. You ready? Here we go. Hi China, I'm John Cena, in the middle of Fast and Furious 9 promotions. I'm doing a lot of interviews. Made a mistake in one of my interviews. Everyone was asking me if I could use Chinese. Movie staff gave me a lot of information. So there was a lot of interviews and information. I made a mistake. I have to say something very, very, very important now. I love and respect China and the Chinese people. I am very, very, very sorry about my mistake. I apologize. I'm very sorry. You must understand that I really love, really respect China and the Chinese people. My apologies. See you. That's the exact translation to his gimmick in Mandarin. I was waiting for you to hit the Japanese button while John Cena was doing his gimmick, but
I actually buried her hard enough yesterday, and I kind of feel bad about it.
Check this out. So John Bradshaw Layfield goes on social media yesterday, early or late, and he wrote this on his Instagram. He says John Cena has granted 600 plus Make-A-Wish Make-A-Wishes, which is a record, supported cancer research, rise above the hate, and $1 million of his own dollars for racial equality. I've been to Iraq, Afghanistan with him many times, and has seen his tireless support of our soldiers, an incredible track record of making the world a better place. I stand by this, or I stand with this guy. What does JBL have to gain?
JBL is also got a spot with Fox and other properties who, that he's gonna look a certain way. Has Cena done all that, and is it noble work that he's not always accredited for? Absolutely. But visiting sick kids and visiting soldiers who are also on a murder mission for money.
Right.
It's not like they were there doing anything except raping and pillaging lithium, heroin, and doing a hit for George Bush to get back for when his father was almost killed. It had nothing to do with 9/11, right? The going into Iraq. So we can act like these are all big, great Americana things, but if you want to break them down for what they really are, then you're nothing more than the dancing USO puppet, which is necessary for troop morale, but are we really going into 9/11 truth? Do you want to go down that road? Do you want to go into for-profit wars where we are the war criminals? Like, what truths do you want to talk? Or do you want to go, well, he did all these wonderful things, so I stand by him, da, 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 da. Oh, really? He entertained troops who were there on a kill mission that didn't need to exist? Oh, okay. Well, bully for everybody. Let's talk about the deeper part of it. And that's JBL working to protect the boys and whatnot. So I get it from the mafia standpoint, but the reality is China is invested in our major media. They are invested in Hollywood, and the narrative will go as they say. And it doesn't matter how big of an actor or celebrity you think you are, that is false power. They will make everyone dance. And now when they can get Cena to do that and have to do a big apology over a misspeak supposedly on Taiwan, what do the Taiwanese people think of this? I know I've heard they want to be independent and free. So this plays into a much bigger political game of, no, we don't even say that. And if you say that, then now you've really stepped out of line, because that's something bigger than what our investments are, and and then NBC will step on John, and they'll turn this into the PR nightmare that it is. It's a political thing that raises awareness, instead of Cena. If he was the everyman for independence, he would say that Taiwan is a republic, and if they want to be free from China, shouldn't they have the right to vote and do so as a people? Instead, it's, no, I'm sorry, big communist leader, you are right. I bow before you. What you say Taiwan is, that's exactly what they. So we can continue with Fast and the Furious. So we can continue because of the promotion of the next big thing he's got coming up there, Suicide Squad. All that type of shit, you know what I mean? Otherwise, he might get red scarf suicide squatted in his own hotel room. Like, nobody's too big to be touched by this party that seems innocuous enough, but we don't really. What do we really know? What is our experience of Chinese culture and bringing that over, aside from some Bruce Lee movies and some fucking Wu-Tang albums and a couple other small things that are nothing more than stereotype, that really don't represent their people at all. And what is really going on is, we saw this dude where a dude tweeted or texted on WhatsApp after he got stopped at a fucking check for whatever it was, DWI or whatever, and he didn't have the right stickers. He went home and fucking typed on his WhatsApp, "This is such bullshit. We live in a police state," or whatever. They came and got him, locked him in a fucking like Iron Maiden cage where he had to sit in front of a panel of 3 militarized police department people and go, "I'm sorry, uncle. I didn't mean to speak out against our government. I'll never do it again. I was upset from that. And I now know that I'm wrong to speak out. I love our country." Like, that's who you're really dealing with. And also I watched a very interesting documentary maybe a year ago, and it compared, it was Chinese manufacturing that had come into America, I think via Trump deals, to work alongside the Americans, and how Americans are used to their union. We work this way, and I just punch in and punch out, and you can't tell me. Dude, to watch the Chinese work was almost like watching a ballet. The smoothness, and they're not talking to each other. They're just focused on their task at hand, and doing it so efficiently with such a high rate of I guess mastery, and like, no, there's not going to be any, there's throw this one in the junk pile, we fucked that one up. Like, everything is very precise and focused on their work. And even when they get to their job in the morning, it's that let's line up and do Tai Chi together and get in the mindset and be an army of, faceless, nameless, no individuality, where our whole lives in America is all about me, I, me, my, what do I do? These are what I need. I need to have this type of dog to calm me down on an airplane. I need to have, like, they don't operate and think like that. So the cultural divide in this movie really showed, and you see the Chinese getting more and more angry at the fat American workers who don't give a fuck, and they start figuring out ways how to streamline, chop it down, where it started as let's blend cultures and have workers working together under the same thing. You just see a difference in the values of Americanization versus the militant. It's still beautiful in the way that they were producing and moving. I think they were making like windshields, and it's very elegant, but and far more efficient. I believe the Chinese workers were like 20 to 30% more efficient than the American workers were. And that was like, the Chinese eventually would look at them and like, let's find a way to get machines to do the Americans' job because they can't pick it up, bro. So that's really one of the bigger cultural differences I've seen. Now, you take that just in a windshield factory and multiply that difference across the board politically, control wise and whatnot. It's an interesting culture, far different from how we've been raised, but we're also hooked and addicted to Chinese products. I don't care if it's from your iPhone to your Walmart waste paper basket, bro. It comes from there because of cheap price, cheap labor, and because of how that workforce works. So we've put ourselves in this strange place right now. And like I said, there's 3 groups that are running the entire planet, and I don't believe America and CIA is one of them, bro.
Well, I reached out to President Biden to get a little bit of his thought on this whole situation. He basically
all men and women created by go. You know the thing.
That's all we got. Anyway, all right. So John Cena. Oh, hey Ben, why don't we jump into story number 2? Anything else you want to say about John Cena apologizing?
Yeah, that's a sad day for Americana, bro. It really is, bro. Yeah. It really is. I mean, it's not a thing that crossed boundaries for Americans and Chinese to find some common ground. Instead, this looks like white guilt, apologist, I'll bow down. In the 80s, do you think that we ever would have done this, dude? Like, to apologize to a communist enemy? No, it shows you who's fully in control, and that democracy and capitalism is on its way out fully, and that the New World Order, via Hollywood, via banking, and even with the crypto stuff, the American Fed is scared of what crypto is going to do to their little power struggle with the banks, which is your Israeli mafia. And then they have China dispel crypto to knock the price way down. Like, all these things are, when you look at the bigger upper tier chessboard of the G20 summits, Bilderberg and whatnot, it's pretty blatantly clear of what is who is in control and what is going on. And then they want to confuse you with strange pseudo-sexuality to keep you talking about things that don't really matter, so they can take more control up on high.
Again, Wolfers is the "you sold out" chance when John Cena comes out and comes back to SmackDown. That'll be fucking hilarious,
dude. It's gonna be it's fucked up, man. I mean, it really is like
you know what it is,
like that slap in the face of reality that a lot of people weren't ready for, bro.
You know what it is?
This is such good shit.
Yeah.
All right, so listen.
But here's what it is. They've been wanting to get in there for a long time, haven't they? Look at UFC. UFC's booking fighters from China who have no business being in the fight game, but they're getting matches because they want to do fucking their own whole UFC expansion. I mean, billions of people. That's a huge market to get into. And I think WWE is the same way, that and India, but seems like they can't get it right to get it going, man.
I got to tell you, yeah, by the way, guys, again, you know, the vet is in the building, ladies and gentlemen. Just say what's up to the vet here. Hi, vet. Hi, Colin. I am, again, Ben, my allergies are killing me right now. My mind is so foggy, but something that's becoming very clear. There have been a lot of, well, you know.
Yeah!
What?
Yeah, pal.
Yeah, everybody's going.
Yeah, I actually stole that from you, Ben. Look.
Yeah, pal.
Was that me?
Yeah. But that was the man-deer gimmick when when Vince is doing the marching up the
right.
And then with I gotta tell you something. If you guys haven't seen that, that was hilarious. The fucking skin flute. I've been playing the skin flute. Remember anyway, that was good shit, man. But anyway, yeah, dude. So apparently WWE is doing like making some releases. They're consolidating a lot of their company. They who's this guy? Adnan. I haven't watched Raw in a long time. Adnan Virk.
Yeah, General Adnan.
Yeah, right. He's over. No, Adnan Virk is out as Raw announcer. Who the fuck is this? I haven't watched Raw in like.
So he's been on for 6 weeks, maybe 8 in there. Seems like a nice enough guy with nice personality, but bro, you threw him into I mean, he took Joe's spot, right? So the day after WrestleMania, I guess, the show after WrestleMania, I guess. He's got good announcer chops and voice and delivery. He just is in the deep end, bro, with the sharks swimming. And you to have that spot, you have to have a fundamental knowledge of wrestling, how to get heels heat and put over that they're heels, how to get babies over and whatnot. And he kind of exposed himself in the first 2 weeks of saying how good the heels were. They're a well-oiled machine and all this type of shit, trying to do good biz, but he doesn't understand what wrestling is. You know what I mean? And the stories we have to tell. And Graves just buried, and I loved it, buried him openly on the commentary of not knowing shit about what he's talking about. Is it this guy's fault? No, because you can't put somebody out there who doesn't know this stuff and how to be a part of the biz and work the biz for the fans to tell that story. It's not just like you're sitting there calling action. You know what I mean? You really have to enhance each of the characters. So there was 2 or 3 instances like that where he's gotten it really wrong.
Right.
And
was he like, what's his guy's name? Mike Adamle?
He is exactly like Adamle.
Jeff Harvey.
Yeah, like not even getting names wrong, but like
good
I think it was like Elias and AJ tagging together and versus New Day, and he goes, "Boy, AJ and Elias working like a well-oiled machine together out here. Really got and fucking." You hear Graves like, "What? These guys are the mismatch." He's like, "You think they're good? Wait till you see New Day do their thing." And da da da. Like,
right?
You know, he didn't even know that New Day's been a tag for a decade together. Like. You have to have.
Really? Well, hold on. I'm sorry. Is this the whole situation where WWE is just hiring fucking people that have no wrestling knowledge, have absolutely no passion for the business, have never worked in the business?
Yeah, the guy's a good voice, but he's baseball, and you can call an MMA fight. You can call an MMA fight because you're not pushing a storyline.
Right.
You don't have to put heat on the guy. What happens, happens. But in wrestling, you're part of the show, telling it to the people at home. And his heart was in the right place, but he just was not ready to deal with the hardcore wrestling fans, bro, who, like, to me, and it kills me, like, that's Timmy Baltimore's spot.
Right.
Timmy Baltimore has put in all the time in the world. He's worked with the best of the best. He knows the entire rosters. He knows whose storyline is what. He knows how to get heels over as heels and babies over as babies. But this guy doesn't even really know in the match who's the baby and the heel and what you don't say on camera to do that, So I want that spot for Timmy Baltimore, absolutely. But I don't know, man. They just keep hiring people outside of the industry, and it's going to be bad. I would say McAfee, he might not know all the move names, but he's a wrestling fan, and he knows who's a baby and who's a heel. So he's going to try and help tell that story. Not that he might not make mistakes doing it, but dude, it was just like, can I all for this guy. And how bad does that make WWE look, like that they keep hiring people that they're firing in 6-8 weeks, bro?
Let me just jump in real quick, man. With Pat McAfee, I've listened to his play-by-play, and that's not him.
No, they've already broken him. Stevie talked about this on Russo Brand.
Okay,
yeah,
so that's not him. I just listened to a couple of minutes of him doing play-by-play, and he just sounds so generic. He doesn't sound like you. If you hire a guy to be an attraction, let him be an attraction.
He brings legitimacy of NFL and the coolness of Barstool Sports. That's what he brings to the table. They killed both of those in 8 weeks, bro, and now he sounds like a generic. Michael Cole. Did you hear about the rib they pulled on him?
No, please tell me.
So you saw that thing on WWE.com where he comes up before Backlash doing the bents, like he's in the wig and he's in the powder blue coat. Did you see that?
I did not.
So he does a Vince impression that's not that solid or whatever to do it. But Cole had set it all up to have him shave his, tight beard. It's not like he had a beard like mine, but shave clean. Then I guess they shot throughout the day multiple scenes with him as Vince. Never planned to use him. They used that one just so he wouldn't get too pissed, but they wasted the whole day and got him to shave just as a rib to do that kind of shit, bro. Think about where our WWE product is on Raw and how terrible it is. They ripped up the script 40 minutes before Raw went live.
That's insane.
The Raw was an abysmal abortion this week, bro. Terrible. And that's what they're spending time on. They're taking production guys, editing time, and fucking lighting, sound, whatever, and writing, and coming up with things for McAfee as a rib, just to rib him instead of focusing on their own fucking product. That's where WWE is at, bro.
Well, again, WWE, so since they've moved to Peacock, they've also let go of a number of people that were working on the network, a couple of people that work in TV production. Listen.
They just named maybe eight or nine of them, but I heard there's 35, bro, that are fucking gone.
But I think there's going to be more talent leaving the company as well. I've heard, listen, Ben, I've heard, and I'm stooging this off to you. I mean, it's been out on the internet for the last couple of weeks, but Keith Lee is skating on you heard it here, guys. He is legit.
He won't stop tweeting, bro.
Yeah, he's out of there, bro. I think he's gone. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
The tweeting is what's killing him. And then Mia Yim might cut her own throat by trying to come and back him up, dude.
Yeah, she's got to shut the fuck up.
Yeah, dude, she was at Impact. I don't understand how she doesn't understand this shit. But once you get inside the WWE bubble, they can fuck with your head incessantly. And you would just start doing stupid things, I think that there's only really one, aside from Baltimore, I think Daniel Bryan might fit into that spot on commentary for a little bit, but that's whatever. There's a lot that could be let go, but there was a ton of people this week who weren't even on Raw because they ripped the script up 40 minutes before go time, bro. They bring back no gender for 2 weeks. Daniel Bryan can't be on SmackDown, no Daniel Bryan on Raw.
Right.
I mean, we ran him down on Raw and SmackDown. There was like 8 people. Braun wasn't on, except for one little thing.
Let me jump in, Jared. The Miz is injured.
That's perfect though, bro.
Yeah. No, I got you.
Injury is everything, man. Like injury lets you be on camera and get over emotion and pain and things to happen to you instead of having to go work matches and be that. So Miz and Morrison weren't on. Team Glow Crotch wasn't on.
Who the fuck is Team Glow Crotch?
Lana and Uso's wife.
Oh, okay, all right. Yeah. Her.
Just like a lot of
Naomi.
They're here and they're gone. And Jinder, Shanky, and Veer gone. Like what is going on, man? So you can't have a 3-hour show and 12 people on your roster.
Stand by. I'm sorry. So I misunderstood Jared's comment. He said, "What about Miz as a replacement for
Miz could do it. I agree. Miz could do it for sure. But there's always going to be that. Is he done or is he going to get up and fight? You know what I mean? Like you kind of gotta. You're either a guest commentator who's a wrestler, or you're really going to settle into that position. So Miz definitely could do that. I agree fully.
All right, we're about to do
taking enough bumps. Why wouldn't he want to go? Fuck it, I'll work for 5 more years just doing commentary, bro. I got my reality show. I got all this other shit going on. Guy's been on TV since he was 18 years old, bro. The dude's been on TV since I was a sophomore in high school or in college, bro.
Yeah, when he started with the Real World.
Yeah, and then Real World Road Rules. He probably made enough money off those 2 shows to possibly retire. And then he hosted them, and then from that to Tough Enough to OVW TV to right to WWE. Man, this guy's had an unbelievable run from reality TV to where he is now, and worked his ass off every step of the way.
All right, Ben, we got one more quick 2-minute clip here. This is story number 3 of the 3 count. We move into NXT. Here we go.
T-Bar and Mace were gone this week too.
Who?
Retribution.
Oh, they're still a thing?
Dude, they got, one of them's Donovan Dijak, who there's a ton of money written on him, bro. He's got Randy Orton quality.
I didn't know there was still a thing. Like, I legit haven't watched much.
Mia Yim's been off TV, and the other dude, Slapjack, I don't know what they're doing with him, but Mason T-Bar took the masks off, and we're going to be a tag, and then they're gone.
Okay, well, let's see if this guy's gone. Story number 3.
In the investigation into former President Trump and his family business, the Manhattan District Attorney has now convened a special grand jury to decide whether to bring criminal charges. Sources are now telling ABC News. Let's bring in our chief Washington correspondent, Jonathan Karl. John, this development does mean the investigation has reached a more advanced stage. So what do we know at this point?
Well, it certainly seems like an escalation of the investigation. And what we have heard, Lindsay, is that prosecutors have actually already contacted witnesses to appear before this special grand jury. And while this body will be hearing other cases as well, this is the grand jury that would determine whether or not there are criminal charges filed against the former president, his family, or his company. Obviously, there have been no charges filed yet. This grand jury is going to be meeting for up to 6 months, 3 days a week, reportedly. That Trump himself has not responded to this news yet. But of course, he has said many times in the past that he runs a clean business and that this entire investigation is a political witch hunt run by a district attorney, Cy Vance, who is a Democrat.
All right, I'm going to stop it there, Ben. I'm sure you know what's going on here. I just want to hear your thoughts on this whole thing. Are they going to finally bring the Teflon Don down? You think this is just pomp and circumstance? Like, what's popping? Are they going to stop? Because look, let's be real. I think at this point in juncture, the way the country is going, this is my opinion, guys out there. Okay, the way this country is going with the Biden administration, I think if Donald Trump ran in 2024, he would win. I think he would win big, so big. But I think the Democrats are trying to, again, my opinion, are trying to stop this from happening and doing everything in their power. Is this something that's legit, or again, is this pomp and circumstance?
Oh, it is. It's the pomp and circumstance to do a bad PR campaign. They have to keep fighting that fight because they're terrified of exactly what you just put over. So Am I pumped to be like, yeah, he could come back and win? No, I'm not. But I understand the Cold War tactic that they're trying to pull here. But if people on the surface did Dippin' Donuts who were there having a great coffee and donut, just talking shop while, whatever propaganda's on the TV, probably Fox, they just see it at that surface level. They don't really talk about it as they're just trying to hurt them for this, that, and the other. They're like, oh, they're really going to get him. They're going to get him. Well, if that's how we really operated, I'd be all for it. I'd be like, yeah, go get all corrupt politicians. And you know what? I can't wait for that same lawyer who has no agenda to investigate the Clinton Foundation for what they took from Haiti and did child trafficking wise. I can't wait for you to check on insider trading with Nancy Pelosi and the money that is above what she even earns that they just invested in lithium, both recycling and that and automotive industries where they're invested in that with forehand knowledge. All of those are Leavenworth 5 to 7 years Al Capone tax level evasion events. So if you're going to do that and you want to start taking down corrupt politicians, hackers all for it, but you're going to do it across the board. And if you don't, then you just look like vindictive, cocksucking Democrats who have no other plan except to do a smear campaign. And that's exactly what Nancy Pelosi has laid out, where they make accusations. They don't have to be real. And then they'll do the retraction 2 months later on page 14 after the front page news has already hit. She's outlined this strategy, but do the Nancy Browns at home, are they going to hit rewind and on that tape or pull that from their memory banks? No, because that's for high level thinkers like HMG and Russo brand members who never forget. Hashtag never forget. Like, it's these things where they get too comfortable and expose themselves constantly. But when it's time to flip that coin to the other side and look at them through the same magnifying glass, oh no, they could never do any wrong. They didn't do anything that way. You're just coming up. You're the racist. You hate women. You don't want it. Like, all of these little emotional bullshit. Look over here. You're not fooling nobody with a real mind in their head. And that's why we're the most dangerous group out here. But will they get over on Trump? I don't think so. And Trump's that's a complete lie of whatever he has to say too, of like, we're completely cleaned out. Dude, you fucking built the biggest buildings in New York City. None of that gets done without help from the concrete and building unions, which are completely mob run. So right there is your tie for RICO predicates and whatnot. But are you going to go after the Gambinos, the fucking, Carluzos? No, you're not gonna. You're not gonna do that. So because last time they tried to do that, it didn't work out too well for the Kennedy boys. So that's the real. And again, these are headlines and conversations for the 85 percenters who don't really know why John Cena is bowing down to China, why they're really investigating Trump because of their fears of their lackluster plan of it all falling apart. Like, all of this stuff, when I watch or hear news like this, to me is at such a 10-foot level, and I look at it from 20,000 feet above and who the real players are and who's benefiting from this type of stuff. Like, we should be watching the news. We should be so critical after so much propaganda for 20 years that we should be able to watch the news and think the exact opposite of what they're telling us and name the players in our mind who are benefiting from that. And that tells you, because it's all the lies, you should be able to identify it, and the opposite of what it is should be able to be the truth. And then once you do a little research, you find out that your gut feeling was right. And here's who it is, and here's who benefits,
Oh, sorry.
It's all good, man.
That's okay.
Yeah, pal. Oh, my.
That's the best. Well, ladies and gentlemen, so, all right, in closing,
Stevie just go. I could probably actually get a gig at WWE, and who knows, maybe I'll apply now. Just returning Vince's phone calls all day from people thinking that it's him, and I'll just fucking call him back, take notes, and at the end of the day, turn in my report.
Will you stop?
What? Oh my!
All right. So in closing,
Dave, I'm calling you back. God damn it!
You think that, and you know how many people would actually buy this shit?
It's close. I don't know if it's dead on. If I hung out with them for like 2 or 3 days, I would have it. I would have everything wired. I would have everything wired.
You know what, Ben?
Okay. Do it. Do it.
One of my favorite lines of any movie, and do it.
Do it.
Do it. Do it, Ben. Anyway, so in closing, Ben, so do you think there's any chance, just one sentence, that Donald Trump will not, no, he's not going down?
No way, bro. You can't even like here's what they did to fuck themselves with that. They got it banned from all media. So now he has no presence. So everything that they do, he doesn't have like a big platform to respond to him on, So that alone makes them look petty and makes them look like they're just carrying on some vendetta that now makes them look like little bitches. Whereas the best thing they could have done was let Trump respond and bury himself and look like a fool. But they fucked themselves on this. So like you said, this is nothing more than a small Cold War strategy to try and keep whatever heat on. It's the same as when they Stormy Daniels and his tax returns and the Russia piss tapes. Where are they? Where'd all that go?
Who knows? But Frank's Picklebarrel ass wants to know if you can.
Stupid ass. That's where it went, bro.
Frank's Picklebarrel ass wants to know if you can work pantsless.
I can. I'm not right now. It's cold down here in the missile silo. It's 55 degrees, so it's you got to dress warm even in the summertime.
That's what she said. All right, so Ben, it is time to jump into our favorite wrestling show of the week. Ladies and gentlemen, it is time for NXT 5/25/21. Let that roll a little bit more.
AMC stock's fucking way up, baby. I wish I would have had more shares. I got a couple, but
yeah, pal. AMC stock?
Yeah, AMC's up, dude. I think I got it at $6 and it's $18.43 right now.
Somebody was saying, I forgot who it was on Twitter saying that yesterday it was at 13.
Yeah, now it should break 20 possibly by today or tomorrow.
Oh shit. That sounds good.
Yeah, man.
All right, cool. Ben. So we start off NXT. So this, I gotta say one thing about this show really quickly. I have a lot of questions regarding the booking of a lot of these matches, the flow of the show, but they tried to make this show. That was a little ASMR. Anyway, they tried to make this show feel big. They try to give it a big pay-per-view feel.
They shouldn't have done that. That was a mistake.
Was it just me? Let's talk about that really quickly. Like, so you come into this thing, they are just putting over the main event, which is cool. I liked it. I like the fact that they made it sound like a really big deal, which it is. You have the rematch of the century, quote unquote. Anyway, but there was something different about the way this show was booked this week. I wonder who the pencil was this week.
I think it's still Game and HBK.
You think so?
Yeah, I think so.
You didn't find something like really different, like over the last 3 or 4 weeks, and then this week was like, I don't know, written different, or the flow was different, and it was just. I know they have that NXT in your house coming up, which I might.
And they should save this match for that. Is my point. Like this match.
Yeah, right.
They just did a title swap, in a cage last week. To try and do the big, like, let's do that after a spectacle, you kind of need a palate cleanser. You know what I mean? Just a solid show.
Right.
And I don't know. I mean, are you alluding to something? Maybe I'm not following you, but I don't.
No. I don't know, man. I just felt like I thought this was NXT in your house for a minute.
I'll tell you why I think it was definitely Shawn Michaels and Triple H.
Okay.
Is because dude who won last week, Bronson Reed, comes out and does the Shawn Michaels boyhood dream speech. So when I see that, like, that's just the trick of the trade right there.
Well, listen, Ben, we started off hot with my two favorite in-ring talents, Shotzi Blackheart and Ember Moon. They faced off against Raquel Gonzalez and Dakota Kai. Now, I got to tell you something. I was entertained by this match. Now, we did have Ember Moon and Shotzi go over. These girls really fucking worked hard during this match. There was a lot of good tandem tag team action in this match, a lot of quick tags, a lot of double teams. What did you like about this match? But was there anything that kind of stuck out to you that you were like, I wouldn't have done that?
I mean, there's a couple indie spots we can get into, but dude, I gotta say, I really like this match too. And to be honest with you, it could be my favorite match on the card of the night.
It was my favorite match, but it kind of all went down from there for me.
I agree, and that's a problem, right? Because this is like a stunner, especially if you got Finn and Cross on the main. We shouldn't be saying the opening women's tag was our big one, but they look fun and cool when they're coming down in the tank. I go, if I was a little kid, bro, I'd be way into that. Like, they'd be my favorites because of that. I'd be out playing on my Power Wheels, trying to dress it up like a tank and whatever. You know what I mean? If little kids are going to live vicariously through characters, that was a good look. Then they didn't take a lot of stupid chances, doing dives and blind landings and shit like that. And the tandem offense was good. They got over the tags, which I was pumped about. Then they do a double down. They cut to commercial. They could do a double down and they come back on that. That's when you cut to commercial, double down, cut to commercial, come back up for the fucking what have you. But so there's some production things where people still don't know where the right cuts are. Then Shotzi gets a comeback and she starts doing all the stuff like the low kick, the super kick, the question mark kick, hits her with the flipping thing. And I'm going 1-2 kick out before you just know that this is the falsy package, right?
Right.
And dude, all three of those kicks were enough to like hit me with one, knock me down, pin me, because it's believable. You just hit her with 3-4 kicks that are all impressive and they kick out. So you just buried them all. You know, like that's Indie 101 in my opinion, and I don't like those extra things that kill the flow of it to show that you can do that stuff. So that's small nitpicky things, and from where she got over and came from of when the Bucks influenced everybody to do that shit, and they thought that was the normalization. You see some bad indie habits carry over from that type of stuff. But
can I ask you a quick question?
Yeah.
Who are the NXT Women's Champions, tag team champions?
Who are the tag champs? Is there a tag championships?
Indy Hartwell and this girl.
Yeah, Indy and what's in the purple hair girl?
Right. So
they won it and they went and got massages.
So yeah, exactly. And we're gonna get into that later. That was actually pretty interesting. But I was just confused as to why this match, like, what are the stakes in this match? Like, whoever wins gets a tag team title. Like, these girls really fucking kill each other. I know they had a feud, so on and so forth, but again, a match of this caliber, I think, much like the main event, should have been at the NXT in your house thing.
Maybe, but you want the first match and last match of your show to be the strong. Those are the two most important spots. And these girls were in the first spot and they knew it and it worked well. And they didn't do a bunch of extra dives and shit because they were in the first spot and they saved it for the main. That's what really impressed me more than anything, because they're known for doing crazy, dumb shit. And because they were in the first, they had to restrict that. And it made them better workers and better wrestlers. It gave them less chance to expose and kill each other or themselves.
Well, let me just straighten this out, Vet. I like this match in spite of Shotzi Blackheart, because he's like, "Oh, you finally like it." No.
She did good, man.
She did well, fine.
This was a solid match to open the show, and all the girls were there. And Dakota Kai's performance was much better. She's just, to me, not believable at 105 pounds to be getting anything on anybody, bro.
What about after the match where you have Gonzalez, who just went outside and just decimated who the hell did she beat the fuck up out of outside the ring?
Shotzi?
I think she just fucking just rammed her into the freaking glass, into the post.
Yeah,
and just,
to me, that's like, well, I said on the watch line, we're not learning from our mistakes, and they didn't in the main either, because they did it again to Balor. And anytime I see that shit, I just go back to Balor versus Rollins the night he won the title, and now we're taking blind back bumps into the barrier. Nobody in wrestling school trains that. You won't go to the Dudleys, you won't go to Dustin's, maybe Nightmare Factory. You won't go to OVW and go, all right, guys, line up. We're going to do power bombs into the gate. We're going to practice that so you guys can get that down, because your body is not ready or able to do that type of shit, bro. There's no way to protect yourself while you're going backwards straight before the ground hits you to try and body block yourself and not tuck your chin and do whatever needs to be done that way. That's, again, more video game bullshit that has made its way into what doesn't need to happen. A girl that size should be doing, we've got, what's her name with purple hair in there?
Shotzi?
Dakota Kai.
Oh, Dakota Kai, right.
She should be, to me, the Spike Dudley of the women's division. The other girl should be 911 and fucking
Word.
a choke slam and down, and that's it, bro. Something safe and put her size over. Power bombs into the fence and plexiglass don't make you a vicious heel who wants to kill somebody. It doesn't make you a badass because you had to do it 3 times. I want you in the ring, up strong, with the visual on you, the hook in, her Dakota Kai to get the face over, and then up and dead and laid like it's a car crash.
Right.
The other shit doesn't do anything to get anybody over in that way, bro.
All right. Well, I'm gonna play this for you, Ben. Was this promo that came up over? Here we go.
Take 2 steps forward, 1 step back. Such is life. The second we called out MSK, we made a mistake. We put the cart before the horse. Enter GYV. Clearly, they had different plans for us. A certain grudge. And that's okay. Because the final destination has many, many paths.
Now, our path runs straight through you.
GYV, you won round 1. Champion Thatcher, we won round 2. Boys, there will be a round 3.
Throws the chair. Timothy Thatcher smiles. And then he gets up and he throws the chair. Oh, shit.
I am going to enjoy breaking your limbs.
Okay, I'm not going to play the other guys. What you think of this promo, man? They went back and forth with the fine young cannibals. What are these guys called?
Yeah, the young buck rascals, right?
No, not the rascals. The
kids,
the grizzled young veterans.
Oh, the grizzled young vets, yeah. And we can talk their promo too. Yeah, dude, it feels like we don't have anything, we don't have any teeth to sink into anything. This isn't playing to any emotion. Competition really isn't that important. Tommaso's already had so many wars there. They're got him in the tag with Thatcher, and he's got his comedy spot with the fucked up tooth. And now we just throw chairs at walls. That's supposed to be
shit's over, man.
Things, I guess, man. I think there's a lot more passion in Tommaso that we can tap into. There's definitely a lot there, and that we're not using, because this is just about, we fought once, we fought twice, we're going to fight a third time. Oh, okay. Well, what are the stakes? What are the real reasons?
Right.
Anything along those lines. So it just didn't, they did what they tried to do NXT style with it and kick it up at the end on the button, was throw the chairs, but it was kind of static. Then when you go to, here's the problem with both these promos and why the one with Imperium worked and why these two didn't. When we see a tag team and they're cutting a promo, we don't want to hear the words. You hear the words coming out of my mouth. We don't want to just hear words at somebody breaking the fourth wall through the camera, talking right to them. What we need is to see the relationship. A tag team is a relationship. We need to see the give and take, how they interact with each other, and the flow of what they're really feeling back and forth off each other, not the direct message through the camera that we can't really relate to, because it's just like, I'm going to say words, then you're going to say words, and then we'll throw a chair to show that we're hyped up. That's the first time that we get any emotion, is the chair throw, right? We're not connecting with anything between that. So whether it was Legion of Doom or, Demolition, you saw the back and forth between them. You know what I mean? Of what that energy was. They were interacting with each other. And that's a big part of what we're missing in these tag team promos of we got to get the business over, but it's not just saying the business of the camera. It's how these guys interact when they're talking about it. You know what I mean? So
yeah, I think Vet's asking you why we're putting that over.
What are we? I'm not putting it over. I don't think it was that great of a promo. I think it was lackluster, and I think the ones from the Grizzled Young Vets is the exact same thing. They're looking right at the camera, saying these promos that aren't showing their character or how they interact with each other, and they both missed. Now with Imperium, even though it's the two dudes and they beat the shit out of the guy who got Future Endeavored, Wolf, last week, we see Walter interacting with them and giving them orders, and it's got the Third Reich feel to it, and he does the German, but we see him interacting with them. They're not breaking the fourth wall and looking at the camera. They're saying what they're going to do to each other, and the other guys are very Luftwaffe or whatever, SS feeling, and their focus on him taking orders is the interaction between them, and we get to see that.
I want to point something else out. You and I, or more you, were kind of, talking about the whole iPad thing and how cheesy it looked. Did you see the difference?
This was 100 times better. Maybe they just didn't have it ready for the week before.
Or maybe they have people that listen.
Well, there's 2 people in NXT, maybe 3. There was 3, and there may be 2 now who are just paid to listen to podcasts, bro.
Right. So
that's how. Dude, how many times do our creative ideas from HMG and Rusev brand trickle up, or Cornette? Dude, Rusev wouldn't be the Rusev he's been the last 2 weeks if it wasn't for him getting into it with Cornette over the best friends shit. You know what I mean? And Cornette challenged him to be the killer that he's supposed to be. So when you're in these bubbles, you think you're killing it. You know what I mean? But it takes some outside and yeah, it's our time, so we can feel one way and say some dumb shit about that's emotional about somebody over a stupid wrestling performance. But I want Tommaso and Thatcher to succeed. But they don't know that what I want to see is the relationship between them and how they interact is far more important than them calling out an opponent who's not there to break the fourth wall and look through the camera.
Yeah, man.
So we can get that message over, but we got to find a way better creative way to do it.
Well, speaking of over, you know who's really fucking over? Pete Dunne. And he faces Bobby Fish. Bobby Fish, hey, listen, Bobby Fish hasn't really been in the ring with this upper tier talent. But I was I was shocked, man. I actually thought Fish was gonna go over here, even though they're giving Pete Dunne the push. And Pete Dunne wins the match. Ben, what did you think of this shit, man?
Yeah, I'm not a Pete Dunne needs new gear. Okay. Like something to help him look a little less, it's just like maroon. Like there's no flavor to it. Like,
well, isn't that part of his character? He's just like bare bones. He just goes.
But now he wants to wear the fucking, winter is coming, John, whatever coat, right? And like that's not a coat is not going to get you. Or I say change the gear, but like. That just doesn't mean like, oh, look, I've changed to this or what have you. He's trying to find a new way, and I respect him for that. And he's gotten in great shape, but the gear isn't kind of helping his cause there. We need a new look. I'm not really sure what that is, but the guy can go, and so can Bobby Fish, who's a Muay Thai badass, man. But I think Fish losing here is the right call. Heels need heat. This is what we're trying to do with Dunn. Fish is on the comeback, babyface empathy, and I got to say, because it's on here, but Fish put on 20 pounds in COVID weight, and he doesn't look like how he did. That's a good excuse, too, of I'm getting back and getting ring rust off. I got to get serious. I got to train. I got to take the loss that drives me to become what I was. And he's not a spring chicken either. The guy's in his 40s, I think, and, got 2 kids. So I want to see him do well to be able to provide for them. So even coming back a little out of shape gives him the opportunity, which Fish will work his ass off. He's got all the work ethic in the world to look better. Now we're going to see that and a heel that is like a newly and fresh heel that Dunn is trying to be, you got to give him wins. But he didn't win. What was the finish?
Oh shit, I don't remember. Let me see.
I don't think you won in like a real heel way. That's the problem.
I think it was like a roll up or some shit.
It was a roll up, but I can't remember how they went into it.
All right,
but
so in my notes,
big heel incident to do that.
Let me see what I have in my head. I have Dunn rolls through DDT, shoot the half. I just wrote quickly pinfall for Dunn.
Hit him with the Enzo. I remember he hit him with the Enzo knockout, fucking gimmick, and then that. But dude, to me, the story would have been that Pete Dunne is in really good shape. Bobby Fish is returning, has ring rust. He keeps trying to do a pin story, but Bobby keeps kicking out for whatever reason that Pete Dunne has to win with his feet on the ropes. A guy that you haven't seen have to cheat because he's got a great wrestling technical acumen, but here he does it to get the victory to go forward. Like, we just missed the big heat spot, I think. There. Maybe I missed it. It was in the match, but
the heat came after the match when Orny Larkin, I can never say his name, attacks the shit out of Fish. Now here's the thing. Can you explain to me, Ben? You've been in the ring. You've hurt a lot of fucking people in the ring. I know that. You've put people in the Comey clutch and you break the back and make them fucking humble.
Make them smile.
Right. Now, with all that being said, why, so when Orny Larkin is holding Fish's arm, right, on the hardest part of the ring, the steel apron, why did he remove the apron? Like, does that lessen the... He pulls the apron aside.
Did he? He put it in there?
Pull the apron aside to, does that take away padding?
The ring?
Yeah.
Yeah, like he pulled down the skirt, you mean?
Yes, he did.
So, I mean, there is something to that. And I know you're ribbing, but at the same time, right there at the end of the ring, usually the foam meets at the end of the board. Sometimes people have the foam that curls over, but sometimes it gets shifted during it. And the boards are right there at the end, and so is the steel piece. Like, it's right there. So when they say you bump hard, it's not just because the boards don't flex as much right there, but it was believable to me as a worker of like, man, I've done jump ups on the edge of one and there's no foam there, and thankfully I have knee pads on. Drive your knee into like you're expecting, like it is a little more believable, and people know that that's the stiffest part of the ring. So that could be a little bit, but dude, I've worked with Oni or Biff Busick plenty of times in 2CW, or been on shows with him, not worked with him, and the guy's just an awesome pro, and so is Bobby Fish. I'm more pumped for Oni Larkin and Bobby Fish to do something than I am the heat for Pete Dunne.
All right, I don't disagree. Ben, I actually like this. Here we go.
Last week? No.
Every week.
We've been putting people on notice, and they big mad.
Boy, we need a big bag. And that's big facts.
And thankfully, what we notice in NXT is that it's the land of opportunities.
Also facts.
And we've been shining.
Light
so
switch.
It's time for Hit Row to go gold.
Tick tock, tick tock, tick tock. The NXT Championship. All eyes gonna be on that main event, and I need y'all to listen real close to get this. Swerve can't wait to cross Carrion or Finn off that hit list.
Wow.
And as for MSK or Legato, we got both of them covered. We'll slap L's on their head like they was Mario's brother.
Hey, I see you, dog. And let's not forget about the cruiserweight champ Kushida, the so-called time splitter. Hell, I might just split your wig. I'll hit you so hard, I'll knock your ass back to the future.
Let them know.
Time's almost up.
And it's fools like them and the North American champion that think we just came here to sing songs. I mean, Bronson's colossal and all, but
what's Godzilla to King Kong?
Nada.
Talk to him, B.
Hero.
All right, enough of this stuff. All right, Ben, look, it wasn't terrible. I still can't look.
Playing it here, just audio doesn't do it justice. The visual was good. They looked all right around each other. There needs to be a little more energy put into it. You know what I mean?
Oh boy.
No, dude. If I was directing this, that's a 6 out of 10. But now we need to go back and fine tune it and really turn up so they can see it. They're trying to find their voice. This is brand new, and I could have used Swerve being a little bit more like Birdman. Like a little bit more like Baby, like gangster than he was as the mastermind. But everybody's trying to pass the mic and get their little stuff in. And with the music and the look, it's there, but we need to just turn up the energy on it and the I guess the swag on it a little bit more.
Been Top Dollar Holla Holla, the big guy. I just finished watching a new A&E gimmick, the Treasures gimmick, where they're searching for treasures for the Iron Sheik and Sergeant Slaughter, Maggot. And he continued using the term living the gimmick over and over. Oh, and he was marking out for several.
It's a problem, bro.
Dude, I want you to, I know you have very limited time. If you watch just that one episode, you will see.
Because I
get it.
heard other things too of like,
it's
when
just
Undertaker and Kane were like side eyeing him, and like I heard some things, man.
They need to get that guy off that show. I'm serious, dude. They need to get that guy off that show. Get a fucking referee to be the one. Why don't they do that? I'm sure there's referees there that have a lot of fucking charisma.
Well, it's already shot, so you're you know what I mean. That's
They're killing this kid, Ben. Ben, look, if anybody's listening to NXT, you're killing this kid. Because I'm watching this shit on A&E, which I like. I like, going back into the past and seeing all this cool shit. But you can't have your fucking monster Top Dollar Holla Holla being like, oh, wow, live the gimmick and this is so fucking cool. And then all of a sudden he's like, I'm King Kong. That angers me. It's not, dude, I separate fact from fiction. I cannot suspend disbelief or whatever.
He's doing something that's really
my god
rough to do around the boys. So he got in because he was NFL guy, right?
Sure.
And he's got some charisma, and they put this on him. They wouldn't have trusted him with it, yada yada. So that's a good spot, but he's still new in the biz. And and I'm guilty of this, or was, when you first get in the biz, bro, and you learn a little bit of vernacular and you get to be part of the Carney show, everything becomes gimmick. And like, even when guys outside say snabits and they think they know what they're talking about, they don't. Like they just know industry words and that are the insider terms, supposedly, not how they're supposed to be used, or K5 or any of that shit. And other veterans, when they hear somebody like brother, gimmick,
brother,
fucking hacha and that shit, these are the same guys who will get in the locker room and come up to dudes after they shake hands and go, and give a fake chop that is like slow, like, I'm just a good brother like you guys. Dude, veterans see that. If you're chopping guys, even if it's slow motion fake in the locker room, is a good brother thing, I just look down and I'm like, you fucking dude, you shouldn't be in here.
Is that a fact, Ben, that you got into the business only to use the lingo?
That's it, pretty much. Okay. I used up all my improv fucking object work and all the walk-ons and, group mind things I could. I said I need some new lingo, so I went to wrestling. But everybody who's a noob and fucking trying to get over and be one of the boys, you would have to learn the aesthetics, but they overuse it and go crazy with it. That's what that living the gimmick type shit is on. Like, bro, fucking Teddy Hart lives the gimmick, bro. He fucking wore the pajamas down to 4th Street and shit. He lives the fucking gimmick. Or, look at Hamin, how healing on people. Living the gimmick, bro. Like, if you're one of the boys and you've been over, you would never say that kind of shit to another one of the boys, because they're going to look at you like, he's a mark, bro. He's a mark. It's and that's right. It's called being comfortable. It's way too comfortable, or just trying to be accepted and not knowing of like,
No, I know. I don't know. But there are people out there that think they know.
Him, man, he wants to be loved and he wants to be part of this thing, and he loves it. But the last two people in the world you would want to do that shit around would be Undertaker and Kane, and he does it, bro. And it's like, And I heard, maybe it was you that told me, they told him he's got to work his size or protect his size. So he thinks that means don't bump. It shows you that, like, dude, he needs another 3 years of wrestling school, like a big brother to really coach him and be like, come here, don't do that type of shit, bro. Like, guys are talking about you. Because already, I guarantee that if we're having this conversation, guys like Sheamus, guys like McIntyre, they look at him as a total fucking mark right now, bro.
And that's how he genuinely comes across as a mark. And
but there's money written on him, and so but nobody's gonna pull him aside, just like they didn't pull Keith Lee aside and fucking tell him that he's his own worst enemy right now. And he might be so into it because he's making money, he's on A&E, he's on this. And if you tried to give him that advice while he's in the bubble, you're like, that motherfucker's just jealous of me. Fuck that shit. I'm already doing it. That's what the dude, like I said, I'm not trying to shit on you because you've got plenty of knowledge, but until you're in one of these bubbles, you really don't understand how bad it is, dude.
Is it a situation with too much too fast?
Absolutely.
For a kid like that?
Absolutely, it's that, but it doesn't just relate to that, because I've seen kids who've never made it, who came into OVW, who suffer from the exact same thing. Then, granted, it might not be interviewing Undertaker and have their own A&E show, but like now slap that on there and people are like, how did this motherfucking Mark get this shot if he's up in Undertaker's face saying some fanboy shit? Oof.
All right, dude. So we jump into a next match. We have Mercedes Martinez trying to make a statement on Zeta Raymer. And, it was what it was. It was an 80-90, bro, squash match. But it wasn't what happened during the match. And, of course, Mercedes Martinez goes over here. It's what happened after the match. We had the lights go out. And, this creepy Asian music playing or whatever the fuck it is. And then all of a sudden, she has a mark on her hand.
That was good.
Did you like that?
All she has to do is have a fucking big fat ass Sharpie in her hand, or we do a misdirection magic spot. She marks her hand, looks down and sells it. Like, that's a good little spot, bro, of like, okay, that's intrigue. That's how you move it forward 1 week at a time. And then next week, I would do something where it's that again, and the spot's different on her arm someplace, or maybe even on her, that we can figure out how to get one to the face, like there's plenty left here to do. I thought this was a good little David Copperfield thing. I liked it.
Yeah, I liked it too. But Ben, we are now going to the next level here. It is time to...
Whoa! I'm going to the top! And I'm going to the moon! Whoa! Yeah!
It is the $1 million face-off. What a fucking waste of time this segment was.
So bad. This hurt me so bad, bro.
So bad.
I wanted this moment for Trevor Lee to fucking be a home run, dude.
Yeah, yes. All right, go ahead. Can I tell you? Can I tell you first, really quickly, what I thought? Because I knew you're gonna give your professional opinion. First, Trevor Lee gets in the ring, guys. Okay, if you didn't watch the show, and he's cutting this, I guess, quote unquote, passionate promo. He was totally out of character.
No, he this is what they did right. He gets to go, and boom, they hit the money right on that. He only got 2 words out before then DiBiase comes down and he cuts a babyface passionate promo where it's like, why are you fucking with me? I looked up to you and I want to be the $1 million guy. And then instead of $1 million man healing on him, $1 million man kind of trips over his own words and goes, you think you saw what I did all that to you? Do you think I would have seen what you did, what I did that to you if I didn't believe? I'm like, what the fuck is he saying?
I don't know.
He goes, if I didn't believe in you, and I'm like, so now we have the biggest heel ever after pretty much, Trevor Lee recounts, or Grimes, whatever, recounts the basketball kick spot. And like, dude, what are we doing here? Tell. Not show, don't tell. We need to show what the relationship is between them and what's going on that way. And then it's just back and forth glad handing until Eli Drake comes out to get himself over, where he puts himself over as he's saying, I'm the most whatever was it, man. I don't know what the adjective was. It obviously means jacked and vascular, corrugated or something.
Says something about the Kavorka. That's his
Kavorka.
penis.
Like, what the fuck, dude?
That's his gimmick.
Whatever. Like none of that's getting over. And but his energy starts to, I don't even want to say save this scene because it was cringy to watch, man. I'm like, how is a guy that has everything and knows what the fuck is going on with the $1 Million Man tripping over his words? And why is this guy who should be throwing a shit fit? Like, that's what Grimes should be doing, right? Why did you outbid me on that? You made me look like a fool. So then we can have $1 Million Man react to that and be like, I did that to teach you a lesson because I see something in you. Like, you know what I mean? Like, they talked it all out instead of getting right to it. And then Eli Drake has to come in to try and save this scene. And it just is not working at all, dude. I felt really, really bad because these are 3 prime players where it's the time for their spotlight, and this didn't get any of them to shine, dude.
And where's it going to go? You know, where's it going to go?
You have to go Grimes or Sim. You know what the thing is for Eli Drake, what he should have done? He goes, you know, you're looking for a next $1 million investment. Yeah, dummy. Well, the last guy you invested in did pretty well for himself. Oh, hell yeah. You know what I mean? And do the fucking, without saying Stone Cold. And he goes, well, now look at him and look at this right here, dummy. Which do you see the next as the master of the ring? Is it him with his stupid hairy chest and his goddamn hat on and doggy coin? Or is it me, the guy who's been overlooked for years, who you know there's money written on, millions of dollars? Like, we don't get any of that, bro. We don't get any of the Stone Cold ringmaster. I'm the next one who's been slept on as a Hollywood blonde, and you know that I could be the fucking next draw. Like, bro, it missed so badly. I felt terrible for him. And I got to believe they knew where they were going because they did great vignettes leading up to this, pre-tapes. But the in-ring was bad, dude.
I say dummy. Dummy, yeah.
Well, I don't think I can add more to that, Ben. I agree. This was the cringiest. I thought it was Row.
It just felt bad. I wasn't like, oh, this sucks. I hate wrestling. I was just like, all right, this is going to be fucking good for these guys, all of them. You know what I mean? And it wasn't, man. It really wasn't.
They, yeah, man. Again, they took the crown from Hit Row this week with that segment. Anywho, dude, Frankie Monet, she makes her in-ring debut. Now, I'm gonna point a couple of things out that I noticed, you know, critical eye. First and foremost, Frankie Monet comes in and dominates, which she should in a debut match. You don't have what's her name, Asian Jones that came in last week or 2 weeks ago and have like a fucking 50-50 match with somebody when she's making her debut. But no. Frankie Monet comes in, kills Cora Jade.
Handed off the dog on the walkout. That made me happy.
Okay, cool. All right, that made you happy. Now, is it me? Now, remember, I've watched Frankie Monet, a.k.a. Taya Valkyrie, for a long time, covering TNT, covering TNA, Impact, or whatever, Mexico. I've watched her. Was it me? Was I just being overcritical with what I watched? Or did she look a little slow in this match? A little, I don't want to say out of shape because she's in tremendous shape, but
you got to say it, bro. I mean, I don't. The girl's awesome. She's a better wrestler than me. There's no doubt about that. She's got millions of dollars written on her.
Absolutely.
But
there was something off, right?
Yeah, dude. She's put on too much weight.
I
like fucking, dude, believe me, the Marilyn Monroe curvy type is my type. You know, like that's what I like. But when you're going to TV and she's 37, you know, and she's Morrison's wife, starting a new gimmick, you gotta be at the top level. And she's a veteran of this business. So believe me, nobody's beating her up worse right now than she is herself, dude. You only get one chance to make a first impression. She comes out looking like, you know, a superstar, like those dresses that I don't know what the girls call them, but they're like big and pillowy. Like that's what her
It looks like a wedding dress to me.
Yeah, but she's got a company like their baby doll, whatever. I don't know, some type of dress, whatever the fuck. But she looked impressive on her entrance. She knows how to get over on her entrance. I remember on Pro Wrestling Blitz, they brought her out in a goddamn throne with 4 guys carrying her. So she knows what she's doing on how to get over every which way. And we saw her in, like you said, Impact, and she's always knocked it out of the box there. But this was her chance, and dude, she's definitely got to get on the diet and program, because it's not just like, oh, she's bad wrestler, she lost a step. I'm not saying that. I'm saying The Office is saying fucking even worse things.
Yeah,
and,
easy.
You know, like they're definitely like looking at her like, especially while Cuts are around, and I bet you they're paying her a pretty penny, bro.
Yeah,
she's been around, she's earned it. But she's also Morrison's wife, so I bet she's making 2-3 times what every woman in NXT is making right now, maybe even 4 or 5. And you can't go out there, no matter how good you are in the ring, and give that perception of them, because you're just, especially in the WWE bubble, you're giving them ammunition to fuck with you or release you.
Yeah, 100%, Ben.
She's so good. There's so much money written on her, but that just the fact alone that we in her gear and her stomach's kind of poking through at the end during her beauty poses, all that. Here's what happened in Gorilla. If you can't see, if you're not seeing what I'm doing, it's just a quick eye shift to the left. Look at somebody, the other person goes, not even a full nod, just a half nod, and fucking or somebody makes a sound, somebody goes, and that's all that needs to be said, bro. Like the unspoken producers of like, dude.
What about Beth Phoenix? And this stuck out to me. I'm gonna agree with you, Bernie. Kind of putting over like, oh, that finish looks familiar to me, because that's Beth Phoenix's finish, her finish.
Okay, so I would love to see Beth Phoenix versus Taya Valkyrie. I think those are two of possibly the best women of what women wrestlers should be. Right. Those two are at the top of my list, with Serena and Thunder Rosa's doing really well. I mean, like,
let me stop you real quick. So Bernie DC makes a good point though, because now is this a situation? Now I'm asking you to educate us here. So you have Frankie Monet coming in the WWE. She's been doing what is it called there? Her finish, the Road to Valhalla. She's been doing that for a minute. But that was Beth Phoenix's finish. Is there something where you have to actually go to a wrestler that's famous for that finish and kind of say, hey, I'm going to use this finish on WWE TV? Was that kind of like a slight to
it could be a couple different things. I don't believe Taya would ever just do that without going to Beth and saying something, because she's a consummate pro.
Right.
However, did they tell her to do that instead of changing it as not have Beth do it, to say you're going over with this right here instead of the big setup? NXT, I got to believe no, because everything is walked through 1,000 times because it needs to be. Maybe not for them, but that's just the way the program is there. But yeah, Stevie did it to Shawn Michaels, so you absolutely do that. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know if in a situation like Rusev and I, so I've been working longer than he has, but he's more over than me. I'll just say, are you going over with the clutch? I would change it to something else, what have you. But yeah, dude, you definitely want to clear something with if it's like the spear and Reigns is on the show, don't do the spear. Not to do the spear. Like there's guys who are over and you won't do it for. So but that's just respect. Absolutely.
All right, cool. All right, we're about to jump into the main event. Just before that, we have Bronson Reed, who claims,
yeah,
that guy. He says that you've got a colossal mountain to climb, mate. That was fucking cheap. So first, I'm gonna say this, and we did have a run-in after this promo, but Santos Escobar, the boys, they come in. But bro, Bronson Reed, again, the guy looks like he has money on him, but again, he's 5'10", probably 5'9" in real life. I'm just saying, his promo to me was not real. I didn't feel any real passion. 14 years. 14 years you've been in the business. You are cutting this promo saying, "Oh, it took me this long to climb to get this mid-level championship belt at the developmental." Like,
I made it.
Think about what he's saying there, Ben.
I mean, what they're really saying is not wrong. Is that WWE believes in you enough to put a title on you, so they think.
No, I got it. But you're putting on 14. It's just the I don't know. I didn't feel like this was genuine. It felt like it was written for him, if that makes any sense. You know what I'm talking
Shawn
about.
Michaels agent of this. You can hear Shawn Michaels all through it, bro. This is the boyhood dream promo.
Yeah,
and
man.
guess what? We don't live vicariously through the fat, dark guy. Like, even though he's a baby, he should be Van Vader. You know what I mean? Like, that's what he looks like, is badass and like a bread truck that's coming to hit you. Like, so that alone, with the wife stuff last week, and then he's full on pussy baby, bro. Like, and he doesn't look like a boy to do the boyhood dream speech. You know what I'm saying?
Bro.
It just doesn't fit. So that was rough, and he's in NXT learning. And just because you've been in the indies for 14 years don't mean shit, bro.
Mm-hmm.
The reason why I have been, and when I'm my hot button topic, why, and I'm not trying to Horowitz myself, but Hamin steals the show, it's because I've been doing improv since I was fucking 18 years old. And before that, doing theater. I have all the chops. I know what my voice is. I know how to commit to character. Just because these guys are on the indies and he does a fucking dive or a splash doesn't mean he knows how to carry a storyline. Doesn't mean he knows who his character is. Doesn't mean he knows how to cut promos to get heat or get over as a baby. This is all the things that indie workers who put in a decade, 14 years, sure, they might know their match and have worked people, but they don't know how to carry a storyline and how to get emotion over. He's still a kindergartner and first grader when it comes to that aspect of the game. And you've seen that. You saw that last night. Then the dude with Escobar comes out and knows how to get himself over.
Can I say something?
Character, of course.
Can I say something? So that's the thing, though. So now you have this dude, the Colossal Connection, or whatever his name is. He comes in, Bronson Reed cuts a boyhood dream promo, but then you have these pros coming to the ring. You have Joaquin Wilde, you have fucking Santos Escobar, and they even, in their heeldom, they bury Canada. Canada doesn't count and all this other stuff. And it was just like a different. It was two different levels. Like, I think Escobar is all the way up here, and Bronson Reed is all the way down there when it comes to charisma. Even though Santos Escobar is less than half this dude's size, he looked bigger to me. He looked
larger
like
than life is what we do, bro.
Right.
Larger than life is what we do. The guy from the Bronson Reed reminds me, if he was going to be a baby face, he'd be like a friend of the Super Mario Brothers in the game. And he could, like the kid from fucking Hook, go into a circle and bowl everybody over. You know what I mean? Like, you want to cheer for him, but he's like the big muscle, like he's just the big house of your buddy, whatever your buddy's name, Big Brian, Big Tom, whatever. Like, he's that guy. You know what I mean?
Big lovable guy.
Yeah, but also dangerous. But he's not coming off that way, and we're not portraying him that way. Escobar knows his voice. He's obviously studied El Chapo, fucking Pablo Escobar,
Beautiful.
fucking, all that fucking Carlito's Way. Like, it's all that. It's right there, dude. And once you find that can make you way up here, a bigger character than, like, Escobar's in 10th or 11th grade when it comes to promos and shit. You know what I mean? So that's the real difference of what we're trying to portray in characters and get things over. I hope Bronson Reed gets there, so it's not just he's a 14-year indie worker from Australia who's a heavy guy who loves his wife, because that's all we got right now from him, bro.
Listen, if they want to make money, I think you tag team him. Remember, you know how in TNA and Impact they have the two big guys.
AC and Larry.
Yo, put this guy with fucking what's his name? The big fat guy that was Money in the Bank winner, Otis. Put him with Otis.
I agree 100%.
The new, make them the next Natural Disasters. They'll go over as a tag team. Who can beat them? Those two big guys.
Fucking get a guy rocking and reeling, hot tag to one, shoot him off, fucking come back through, run by him while the other one comes in, and you sandwich bread truck them. There's nobody they can't beat, bro.
No.
But you put those guys on a year run with that finisher, just big belly bump, fucking with the dude in the middle getting killed. That's it, dude. They're over. You might have a shorter run, but that'd be a solid tag team. It'd be better than Otis and Gable haven't been on TV. They stopped that coal in its tracks.
Bro, you do Otis, he does the fucking caterpillar, boom, and then you have the big guy come off the top row with that splash.
With the splash.
It's over. The tag team multiple tag team championships, and they both, and you know what? Where this guy Bronson lacks in promo cutting skills, Otis is over on the mic. You know what I'm saying? Otis can, he has a lot of character, he's funny, people love him.
I just think Bronson hasn't had the opportunities in his career to sharpen these swords. I'm not saying he sucks and can't do it. I'm just thinking, I agree. If you give him Otis, he can match that energy. He's going to get better. We only get better working with people who are going to pull the performance out of us and directors who know what's what. Sean is just going to the boyhood dream because that's easy and what he knows.
So now why is that not working for Colin? Because he's been working with the vet for a long time. Why is he not getting better? I'm just wondering.
He doesn't listen. He doesn't listen to anybody.
All right, Ben. Well, I have to bury Colin at least once a show. Ben Hamin, it is time for the main event of the evening. Ladies and gentlemen, Karrion Kross, the NXT champion, versus Finn Balor. The end is near. Ben Hamin TikTok. This is part 2. We've been building this all night. Are you ready? I'm ready. Ladies and gentlemen, this is it. We've been waiting. Could Finn Balor become the NXT champion for the 3rd time? Whoa. My bad.
It's all good.
I don't know what happened there. Can you hear me? Hello?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Hello?
Yeah.
Hello?
Check.
I can't hear anything. Okay, I'm back.
Yeah.
All right, so I made a huge mistake. Hopefully I can edit that out in the podcast.
You hit the green button?
I think I hit the fucking ear button. I was so hyped up by this. It is what it is. It's fine. See, this is what happens when I bury Colin. Ben, what did you think of this main event of the evening? I'm definitely going to edit this shit out. So for people listening on the podcast, there was something I did wrong, and it's probably blew out everyone's ears listening right now. I'm sorry if you had earbuds in. I apologize. Ben, what did you think of this match?
It hurts me to knock this match, man, because I'm such a big Killer Kross guy, dude. But Kross listened to somebody the wrong way and gave Finn Balor way too much, bro.
Yes.
Way too much.
Finn Balor kicked the shit out of Karrion Kross.
Right, and that's a problem. Killer Kross should never be off his feet because of Finn Balor punches and shit along those lines and being knocked down and out. There is something to be said if you're winning the match, so you give the guy 70% of the match to go over, but not in this
fashion.
Not in this case, because Kross is champ and he's way more believable than Balor underneath. And Balor's money is him fighting from underneath, coming up and having a never say die, never quit attitude. And, Kross getting more and more frustrated till he's finally got to choke him out. That should be the story.
Right.
Instead, this was back and forth 60-40 with Balor on top, beating Kross down. He made Kross look small, bro. I couldn't believe how go ahead.
I just wanted to say that. So in the beginning of the match, I liked this part. I like when you have Finn Balor going for the leg, working the leg, doing the leg kicks, bringing the monster down to a knee. I get that. But yeah, man, there were points where
Then we went away from that into a bunch of falsies, and Baylor was just strong on top. And then the justification for that is, well, Baylor was WWE champion, and now he's in NXT fighting that. So he should be as strong as a top champion would be, like Bobby Lashley facing you. Like, that's how they justify telling that story.
Well, here's what fucked me up.
That's them in the bubble, and that is wrong. The business is not to get Baylor back over, because he'll probably go back to SmackDown and then they'll fuck it up and they'll release him. But what Baylor should have been doing is, how can I make Cross look super strong and dominant to get him ready? Because that's my job here. Instead, they thought going 50-50 would raise Cross's acumen to go, see, he can hang with a former WWE top guy, and that's what'll make him. Nope. Him being strong here is what we needed, and he wasn't.
Well, here's what killed me. So Killer Cross goes outside the ring. This is the one where it lost me. I was like, oh fuck, man. Killer Cross goes outside the ring and kills Finn Balor on the announce table. If you didn't know wrestling was predetermined, you would say that kid broke his back on that table.
Sure.
Throws him back in the ring. Balor gets up and hulks up quick. There was no recovery from that. There's another thing too of Cross on the no sell, where Cross will take something and then boom, he's standing right behind you. Ha. Well, how can he no sell and do that stuff after you also just chopped him down 3 minutes before that and he was on the sell from something less? Right.
There's a lot of errors in this fucking match. And dude, I got to believe that Finn Balor probably has carte blanche to put stuff together. And this is that old school indie 50-50 that got him to be an indie darling and then got to WWE and didn't understand the style, how to get over. People keep saying they want the Demon. I think they should never do the Demon again with him.
This was a Japanese match, man.
Yeah, it was bad. It did not serve Cross. It did not serve NXT, and it did not do the business that Baylor should be doing to get these guys ready to go up and to that next level. This match was more to show that Baylor is a top star who can hang with Cross and that he should be back up there. No, dude.
And even though
it was selfish, it was selfless of Cross and selfish of Baylor.
And this is something that, look, guys, and again, that's another guy that we had on before he really, really blew up, Killer Cross. We had him on here.
I don't mean to say bad shit about this, because these two segments I was looking forward to, Trevor Lee with $1 Million Man and this fucking main event, and both of them were tragically booked the wrong way and directed the wrong way, dude.
And for me, I felt it was just Killer Cross doing business, and the thing is that, you know how you've always said, Ben, that sometimes, most of the time in this business, you need to learn when to say no, when to say this isn't going to work for my character, even though it may get you heat or whatever, in trouble in the office for a short term. Long term, you're going to build that what would you say? Everybody will know that, all right, we can't make this guy do this. You know what I'm saying? And Killer Cross is levels beyond anyone. They're gonna have a triple threat next week with 3 smaller guys that are supposed to.
They said that. I go, dude, Cross, if this was a bar, would throw all 3 of them out at the same time, and there's nothing they could do with it.
You think Gargano's gonna fucking beat Killer Cross?
Or fucking who are the other 2?
I don't even fucking know.
Fish, the Kyle O'Reilly. Come on,
dude. What is it, Tangerine Cassidy? No.
And it's a problem because of what Baylor just did. It
is. I wonder if they hold on.
Frank doesn't know, the ins and outs as much as he's here, but no, Baylor should not look strong for house shows starting up again. Baylor's whole thing should be being able to take a beating, kicking out, fighting from underneath, doing something athletic to stay in the fight, and then getting shut down again and getting his ass kicked, only to climb up to fight from underneath again, where the heel, or the baby in this case, whatever Cross is a tweener, says enough is enough and chokes him out. And we as audience members just go, hey, dude, the guy fought his ass off, but it's Killer Cross and he choked him out. Cross could do that to anybody. That's what we should be left with. Instead, Baylor looks like he can whoop Cross's ass, and Cross don't look like a killer no more at all because of that, dude.
Take
I
a
don't
look
care
at
how many abs you got. If you weigh 145 fucking pounds and you're fighting a guy who's 6'2", 215, you are under. It's underdog story. Not he's strong because he puts on whatever that fucking stupid comic book makeup is that I'm supposed to believe, so he can come out then in a Fonzie coat and do a fake yes chant version. And like all that is what got the ratings to shit.
Right.
Instead of saying, I know who I am. I'm athletic, young, good looking. I got the brogue and I need to fight from underneath. And then when I slip over, it will mean something. Daniel Bryan 101. Nope. Got to get all of our indie shit in and make sure whatsoever. Got to hulk up and show that none of us were hurt by it so we can kill the believability of wrestling. It's just like, ugh.
What do you think? What do you think of Bernie's comment here? Cross leaves Balor laying, forces the demon out of him. No, in your house takeover. No demon.
Demon dumb shit, bro. He's not mythical. It's just paint. If you're gonna do the demon, you would have tied him into fucking a real type thing with either Aleister Black or IRS's kid. What the fuck, Fiend? Instead, it's just like, well, once the demon's back, no, he's the same guy who doesn't get it, who will put on face paint, and now I'm supposed to believe that shit, dude. The everything they do in the match just to get in the fucking Bruce Lee foot stomp is egregious. Indie Japan, get your shit in stuff that doesn't do business. The business is getting Killer Cross over as a top guy. This did not do that. Didn't even come close to telling that story.
Unfortunately, I agree with you 1,000%. I was let down. And by the way, ladies and gentlemen, if you didn't watch the match, after all of this shit, after Balor goes crazy, he gets put to sleep. Cross puts him out, which, let's be real. If this was a shoot, Cross would have put this guy out a minute into the match, probably maybe 2 minutes.
Take that finish and apply it to the story of Baylor keeps kicking out with an undominable spirit after taking so much heat that Cross has to choke him out in order to really put him down because he can't pin him. Then Baylor can say, you never pin me, mate.
Yeah.
Dude, this is simple as to like Rip Rogers year 2 and 3, and like it's not getting done. You know, it's just not right.
Yeah,
and it shows why guys like Baylor and Ospreay, who get looked at as top guys, still don't get it. They don't get it fully yet. And painting your face like a demon for fucking little kids or marks who love whatever that fucking comic book is not getting it. It might sell some extra merchandise, but it doesn't make you a wrestler doing things the right way.
All right. Well, Ben, this was an interesting show this week. I'm interested to see. So when's the pay-per-view? Is that this weekend or?
I don't know, but
yeah, I'm gonna have to take a look at that. Hey, Vet, if you're not busy, maybe I could do a review with you of the we'll do a live or something like that. We'll do it live. But anyway, neither here nor there. Ben Hamin, again, this was a very interesting show this week.
It's disappointing because I wanted people to shine their brightest. They really built a lot of business to where we're supposed to like pay it off and shine. And both of those times were the lowest points on the show, unfortunately. And that's how it goes sometimes. I've been part of segments like that where I come back, I go, I just fucked that up bad and it did the wrong biz. I've seen people at OVW do it when Al asks at the go-home meeting, did we do the right business? No. Well, we'll try next week.
Yeah. No. Well, let's see. Maybe next week NXT will take their show to the next level. Ben Hamin, do me a favor, my friend. Please put over anything you like to put over. Let the people know where they can find you, so on and so forth, what we got coming up on HMG, so on and so forth. As he
Patreon.com/Hamin Media Group is going down right there. We'll be able to get this show for free. If you're
Ben, say it again. Say it again. You're binging.
Oh boy.
Do it again. 1, 2, 3, go.
Yeah, patreon.com/Hamin Media Group. You guys know what's going down. Free shows there, paid content as well. We're getting ready to move to Realm, so I'm learning the the back end WordPress and all that stuff that's got to be going on to get our workflow process down. So appreciate it. You can get the new John Cena China shirt. Tweet, apologize, dive, repeat. That's a good one over there at ProWrestlingTees.com.
You have this John Cena shirt?
Yeah, well, I mean, it's the same one, right?
That's
but they should all take a lesson. I would try and upload that John Cena, but I don't get flagged. I know it's Chicago. But yeah, man, Master Shoot Theater and Raw and SmackDown review will be dropping today at Russo'sBrand.com, Russo TWC on Patreon. So just been having a good time recording. I'm sure there'll be more heat pouring in here soon, as I got to call 2CW office right after this to talk some secret plans. But big heat on the Knicks. Yeah, they definitely have cost me 3 bets when Ray said they were going to be good.
Would you stop?
They suck shit through a straw.
You suck shit through a straw. How dare you?
I don't lose bets for them. They lose it for me. So
well, here's the deal. I'm going to make a guarantee. You hear me here, ladies and gentlemen. It is 5:26:21. It is 12:06 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. The New York Knicks will win big tonight.
Will win tonight? All right. Well, here it is.
They will win huge.
Will you cover my bet if I lose it?
Hell fucking no. I just spent thousands of dollars on a wedding. By the way, I'm not going to be doing an NXT review of the pay-per-view because it's June 13th, and I will be in the Dominican Republic. Yeah. We're going to Rio.
Are you going to Rio?
We're going to Rio.
So Knicks are minus 135 for the 26th. I'm going to put $10 on them.
All right.
We'll see. We'll see if Ray comes through. He's 0 for 3 right now. So
would you stop?
Maybe he won't be going to Rio. We'll see about that.
I am the marrying kind, Vet. What are you talking about? Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us here this week. It is always so much fun. Listen, I got to apologize. I'm on 3.5 hours sleep. I had a really long day at work. I fucked up today. I colonized. Yes, I Colin Wysong this show this week. I promise next week
should move to Palestine.
What?
So you should move to Palestine. There's a lot of colonization going on over there.
Ben, I will take this to the next level next week. I apologize, guys. Ben, let's give us a ya Allah, and I love you guys. God bless. Take care. Be kind to each other. Or not.
Ya Allah, infidels. It's Big Ray all day. Hacker Hamin on the next level review here. Patreon.com/Hamin Media Group, live at Ben Hamin channel, twitch.tv/Hamin Media. Ya Allah.
Ding dong.
Goodbye, guys. Thank you again. And Vet, I am the marrying type. How dare you? Who the hell do you think you are, buddy? Jeez. Well, I don't blame him. He's always... Imagine working with Colin on a weekly basis. That guy sucks. Are we still live?
Yeah.
Holy shit. Let me just...